Hi students, so this lecture for BBA 4th sem on corporate accounting. In the last lecture we finished the second chapter. It means what's actually we started the both the chapters at a time. Okay, amalgamation in the nature of merger as well as amalgamation in the nature of purchase, and we finished these chapters. And now in this sessions I'm going to start the new chapter, which is the holding companies. Okay, accounts of the holding companies, so unit number 3, and it's for your exam oriented. Okay, so it is for this internal also. Okay, so it will come for the internal exam also, the question from this units. The accounts of holding companies, accounting standard is the 21. Okay, so this AS 21 is nothing but the accounting standard 21. Okay, so according to this AS 21, it is a maintain this holding companies. Okay, so rules and regulations are framed according to this accounting standard 21. Okay, so now see what is my meaning of holding company. A holding company is one which directly or indirectly acquired the controlling interest in full or to the extent of majority in the affairs of another company. Okay, so this is nothing but the holding company. Okay, so the holding company, it means what? The which company holds the affairs of the another company. It means what? Suppose A company and the B company is there, or you can say the for example, so see, H limited is there and the S limited is there. Okay, and the H limited is going to acquire the more than 50% shares of the S limited. Okay, so it means what? Who is having the hold of that S limited? H limited is having the holds, because the H limited is going to purchase the more than 50%. Okay, more than 50% of shares, okay, of S limited. That's why H limited is the holds on the S limited. Okay, so this is nothing but the holding company. Okay, so or you can say the holding company is one which holds more than 50% of controlling interest in another company, is nothing but what's the holding company. Okay, so meaning of subsidiary company. Meaning of subsidiary company means what? Subsidiary company is one in which another company holds more than 50% of controlling interest in the affairs of the company, is nothing but the subsidiary company. Okay, so it means what? Enterprises controlled by another enterprises. Okay, so enterprises controlled by another enterprises is nothing but the subsidiary company. Okay, so in the earlier examples, H limited and the S limited, H limited is going to acquire the shares of the S limited more than 50%. So H limited is nothing but the holding company, and the S limited is what's the subsidiary company of the H company, because it is what's enterprise. H limited is controlled by or the S limited is controlled by another enterprises. Okay, so S limited is controlled by the H limited, that's why S limited is the subsidiary company. Okay, so both the it will come for the 2 marks, what do you mean by holding company or what do you mean by subsidiary company. Okay, so now these are the types of the subsidiary companies: the wholly owned subsidiary and the partially owned subsidiary. Wholly owned subsidiary, it means what? It is one which all the shares are owned by the holding company. In this case there will not any outsider shareholders except nominees of holding company, and hence the entire profits of the subsidiary company goes to holding company. Okay, so the wholly owned company means what? Subsidiary means what? When H limited is going to acquire all the, it means all means what's the 100% shares of the S limited. At that time S limited is the wholly owned subsidiary. Okay, wholly owned subsidiary company of the H limited. Okay, so this is the wholly owned subsidiary. Next, partially owned subsidiary. The partially owned subsidiary is one which more than half of the shares are owned by the holding company and remaining shares held by the outsiders called minority shareholders. Okay, suppose the H company is going to acquire 80% shares, okay, 80% shares of the S Limited. So this is nothing but the partially owned subsidiary, okay, and remaining is 20% are taken by the outsiders, okay, it's nothing but the minority shareholders, okay. So this is the meaning of the wholly owned subsidiary and the partially owned subsidiary. So these also it will come for the 2 marks, okay. So and it's very important for your exam, internal exam oriented, okay. And these ppts or these notes just prepare as a notes for your exam oriented, okay. So now see in this next slides, meaning of some important terms, okay. So now see which are those important terms in the holding accounts. For the preparation of the holding accounts you should know this, okay. So cost of acquisition of shares. So first of all, the cost of acquisition of shares, it means what? It is amount of shares purchased by holding company in its subsidiary company, okay. It is amount of shares purchased by holding company in its subsidiary company. So it means what? When H company is going to acquire the S Limited, and that time whatever they are paying is nothing but what's the cost of acquisition of shares, okay. And so the difference between cost of acquisition and the nominal value of shares is treated as goodwill and capital reserve, okay. So it means what? For example, H Limited and the S Limited, okay, and the H Limited is acquired, for example, 8,000 shares of rupees 10 each, okay. So 8,000 shares are theirs and each share price is rupees 10, but H Limited is acquired that shares 8,000 shares of rupees 12 each, okay, 12 each. So it means what? So this is the nominal value is actually 10 and now they are purchased price rupees 12, okay. So it means what? So 8,000 into 12 it's a 96,000 and the face value is what? 8,000 into 10 it's a 80,000, okay. So 96,000 minus 80,000 it will be the what? So 16,000 is nothing but the more, right? It is nothing but the goodwill. And suppose if it is the market value it's rupees 8 and the face value is rupees 10, okay. So then it will be the decrease rupees 60,000. So that's why it is the capital reserve, okay. So like this we have to ascertain. So this is the cost of acquisition. So now see, pre-acquisition profits is nothing but the capital profits, okay. So these are the profits earned by the subsidiary company before date of acquisition of shares by holding company in its subsidiary company. It means what? So whatever this H Limited and the S Limited is there, and H Limited is going to acquire the S Limited, right, okay. So before acquiring by the H Limited, whatever the profit is earned by the S Limited, okay, whatever already they are having the profits of the S Limited, and then they are acquiring, H Limited is acquiring the S Limited, okay. So at that time is nothing but the pre-acquisition profit is nothing but the capital profit, okay. So we have to shown as a capital profits. Next, post-acquisition profits is nothing but the revenue profits. So post-acquisition profit means what? After acquiring the company of another company. It means what? H Limited acquired the company of the S Limited, and after that the S Limited is going to earn the profit is nothing but the revenue profit, okay. So these are the very important concepts, just keep in mind. Next is what's pre-acquisition loss. So before acquiring, whatever the loss by the S Limited is nothing but the pre-acquisition loss, okay. Post-acquisition loss is this pre-acquisition loss is nothing but the capital loss, and this post-acquisition loss is nothing but the revenue loss. Now how it's the revenue loss? After acquiring, whatever the S Limited is going to getting loss is nothing but the what's the post acquisition or loss or the revenue loss. As well as the pre acquisition reserve, it is nothing but the capital reserve. Before acquisition, whatever the kept reserve by the subsidiary company is nothing but the pre acquisition reserve, and post acquisition reserve is nothing but the revenue reserve. It means what? After the acquisitions, whatever they are going to reserve is nothing but the post acquisitions. And this unrealized profit means what's an unrealized gain or loss is the theoretical profit or deficit that exists on balance resulting from an investment that has not yet been sold for cash, okay. So it means what's which is unsold goods. Okay, so which is what's the, if it means unsold goods on the date of consolidated balance sheet, no, so this profit is included as the unrealized profit, which is unsold goods is nothing but the unrealized profit. And so this profit is what's fully deducted from the total profits of the liability side. Okay, and also from the total stock of the asset side while preparing the consolidated balance sheet. Okay, next, minority interest. Now see, the minority interest means what? It is the aggregate amount of share capital, reserves, profits, losses, increase or decrease in the value of fixed assets belongs to minority shares. Okay, so this minority shares actually we have to calculate. Okay, while calculating you will understand this what in by minority interest. Okay, so now see how to calculate this minority interest. So chart showing minority interest particulars, they will give the total, they will give the totals, and you have to make the holding company and the subsidiary company. So early in the exams we took the H limited and S limited. So H limited is the holding company and the S limited is the subsidiary company. Okay, so like this we have to calculate share capital in the ratio of the share acquired, reserve, pre-acquisition reserve, post-acquisition reserve. It means what's total, they you have to record in this total column, and now proportionately pre-acquisition reserve for this H limited and S limited, post-acquisition reserve for the S limited and the S limited. Like this we have to take. Okay, so next, profit and loss account, the pre-acquisition profit, post-acquisition profit, increase in the value of the fixed assets or decrease in the profit, as well as like this we have to maintain. Okay, so like this we have to prepare the minority interest. Okay, so all of you use this as a note. Okay, so these PPT slides use as the note for this unit number 3. Okay, so just try to understand, and this chapter is also for your exam oriented internal exam. Okay, so just try to understand. Thank you.